Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're headed to the Arizona desert.
Ooh, sounds hot.
It is, but trust me, this place is cool in a completely different way.
All right, I'm intrigued.
We're talking about Biosphere 2, this massive, totally sealed glass structure, almost like its own little world.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures. It's that huge pyramid-looking thing, right?
That's the one. And we're going to break down everything about it using this super interesting video from Yes Theory.
Yes Theory. They're the guys always pushing themselves out of their comfort zones, right?
Exactly. And this video is awesome because it mixes their adventurous style with science and even some very personal stories.
So what are we diving into specifically? What makes Biosphere 2 so special?
Well, for starters, it was designed to be a mini-Earth, kind of like a prototype for living in space.
Whoa, like a Martian colony or something.
Exactly. But before we get into all that, let's start with the basics.
Okay, back it up. What is Biosphere 2 exactly?
Imagine a giant glass pyramid in the middle of the desert, covering over 3 acres.
Wow, that's massive.
Inside, it's divided into different biomes, like a rainforest, an ocean, even a mini desert.
Wait, a desert inside a structure in the desert? Isn't that a bit redundant?
Well, they wanted to test if they could recreate the complexity of Earth's ecosystems in this completely controlled environment.
So it's all about variety and seeing how different environments interact within a closed system.
And precisely. And to make it work, they had to create these incredible systems to regulate everything from the air to the water.
Sounds complicated.
Oh, it is. They even have these huge dome-shaped structures they call lungs.
Lungs, like for breathing.
Kinda. They help regulate the air pressure inside.
So as temperatures fluctuate, the air expands and contracts, and these lungs maintain a stable environment.
Exactly. It's seriously impressive engineering.
But back to the big picture, why go through all this trouble to build a mini Earth? What was the ultimate goal?
The dream was space colonization. They wanted to see if humans could survive long-term in a completely sealed environment.
So like a test run for living on Mars, but right here on Earth?
Exactly. It was a super ambitious vision of the future and a test of our understanding of closed ecosystems.
Makes sense, but how did they test it out?
They had people live inside Biosphere 2 for 2 years straight. Back in 1991, 8 researchers volunteered to be sealed off from the outside world.
2 years in a giant glass bubble. That's wild. What was it like for them?
Well, the Yes Theory guys actually got to experience a little taste of that life.
Oh, yeah. What did they think?
They were blown away by the scale and ambition of it all. One of the hosts even got to make it rain in the rainforest biome.
Seriously. That's so cool.
That must felt like stepping onto another planet. But let's get back to that 2-year experiment.
Right, because I remember hearing something about it not going exactly according to plan.
Yeah, about 500 days in, things took a bit of a turn.
Uh-oh, what happened?
The oxygen levels started to plummet, and they had to pump oxygen in from the outside.
That's not good. That kind of defeats the purpose of a sealed, self-sustaining environment, right?
Yeah, it definitely raised a lot of questions and sparked some serious controversy.
Yeah. So it wasn't just a scientific experiment, it became a media frenzy, too.
Exactly. People were accusing the team of mismanagement and even cover-ups.
Wow. Sounds like things got pretty intense.
There's actually a whole documentary about it. But before we go down that rabbit hole, I'm curious about what caused the oxygen drop in the first place. Do we know?
Believe it or not, the culprit was something totally mundane.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What was it?
Concrete. The concrete they used to build Biosphere 2.
Wait, the concrete was eating the oxygen.
Not exactly eating it, but it was absorbing way more oxygen than they had anticipated, causing this unexpected chemical reaction.
Wow, so concrete, of all things, was a major factor in the oxygen problem.
It was a classic example of unintended consequences, highlighting how even something seemingly inert like concrete can have a huge impact in a closed ecosystem.
Talk about a humbling reminder of how complex and interconnected Earth's systems really are.
Absolutely. It showed how tricky it is to replicate that balance in a controlled environment, even with all that meticulous planning.
It definitely wasn't the outcome they were hoping for, but that oxygen issue ended up revealing some crucial lessons about building closed ecosystems, wouldn't you say?
For sure. And it makes you wonder, what was life actually like for those people sealed inside this giant glass bubble? What were their days like, you know? Did they have any fun, or was it just all about survival?
Well, that's a great question, and that's exactly what we'll delve into next. But first, we need to talk about one more fascinating character in this story, Symphony. Okay, so who is this Symphony, and what makes her story such a big part of this whole Biosphere 2 thing?
Well, Symphony is a recent high school graduate, and Yes Theory invited her to join them on their Biosphere 2 adventure.
So she got to explore this incredible structure. That's pretty cool.
It is. But what makes Symphony's story even more incredible is that she's overcome some major challenges in her life.
Oh, like what?
She actually experienced homelessness.
Wow, that puts a whole new spin on the idea of seeking discomfort.
Right. Her everyday life probably had way more discomfort than most of us could even imagine.
So how did she end up connecting with Yes Theory?
Well, despite facing those challenges, Symphony found a way to not just survive, but thrive.
That's amazing. How did she do that?
She found solace and strength through art, and she even got accepted into college.
That's incredible. It's like her story is this testament to human resilience.
Exactly. It shows the power of never giving up on your dreams, no matter what obstacles you face.
It's really cool how Yes Theory brings these personal stories into their videos.
Totally. It adds this whole other layer to the experience.
In the video, you can see how Symphony explores Biosphere 2 with this amazing curiosity and wonder.
It's like a visual representation of how our past experiences shape the way we see the world.
And how even after going through really tough times, the human spirit can still thrive.
So we've got this incredible structure that attempted to create a self-sustaining ecosystem. And then we have Symphony, who represents this incredible human capacity for resilience.
I'm sensing a connection here.
Oh, absolutely. They're both pushing boundaries, each in their own way.
Biosphere 2 on this big scientific level and Symphony on a personal level.
And both stories point to this idea of seeking discomfort as a way to grow and discover new things.
It's like Biosphere 2 is this huge experiment in understanding how our planet works, and Symphony's journey is an experiment in understanding the human capacity for resilience.
And yes, theory does this beautiful job of connecting those two narratives.
Showing that whether you're building a mini-Earth or overcoming huge personal adversity, it takes a similar kind of mindset.
Being willing to embrace discomfort, to learn from mistakes, and to never stop exploring.
That's their whole Seek Discomfort philosophy.
It's not just about doing crazy stunts for views.
It's about challenging yourself to grow as a person and using those experiences to make a positive impact on the world around you.
And that's where the Seek Discomfort Scholars program comes in.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that. How does that tie into all of this?
Well, inspired by Symphony's story, Yes Theory created this awesome scholarship program to help students who face similar challenges.
So they're using their platform to give back and make a difference in the lives of these students.
Exactly. They surprised Symphony in the video with a $10,000 scholarship to help her through college.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like seeking discomfort, but not just for yourself. You use those experiences to uplift others.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected and using our platform to help each other out.
So we've talked about Biosphere 2's goals, the oxygen problem, Symphony's journey. But what happened to Biosphere 2 after those initial experiments?
Did they just abandon it?
Not at all. Biosphere 2 is actually still going strong, but in a different way than they initially planned.
Oh, what's it being used for now?
The University of Arizona owns it now, and it's become this hub for all sorts of cutting-edge research on Earth's systems.
So it went from being a mini Earth to a research lab for studying the real Earth.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
And they're doing some really fascinating research there, like this thing called the Landscape Evolution Observatory, or LEO for short.
LEO, huh? Sounds interesting. What is that?
Imagine this giant enclosed hill slope designed to be like a real landscape.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And the scientists can control everything, the rainfall, the temperature, even the type of soil.
So they can study how the landscape changes over time under different conditions.
They're basically fast-forwarding evolution.
It's like a geologist's dream come true.
Right. They're gaining all these insights into how landscapes respond to things like climate change, which is super important for figuring out sustainable land management practices.
It's incredible how they took this structure originally designed for one purpose and adapted it for something completely different, yet just as important.
And get this, they also have the world's largest experimental ocean at Biosphere 2.
Hold on, an ocean inside a building? How is that even possible?
Well, it's smaller than a real ocean, obviously, but it's still massive.
And they can manipulate the conditions in there.
Oh, yeah. They can control the temperature, salinity, even create waves to see how marine ecosystems respond to different stressors.
So they're like simulating climate change in the ocean?
Exactly. It gives them a controlled environment to study things like coral bleaching, ocean acidification, the impacts of pollution.
That's got to be generating some incredibly valuable data.
It is. It's helping researchers understand the challenges facing our oceans and find solutions to protect them. So Biosphere 2 has gone from this almost sci-fi dream of the future to a place where scientists are tackling some of the most pressing environmental challenges we face.
Talk about a transformation.
It's a testament to human ingenuity and the adaptability of the scientific community.
They could have easily seen that oxygen issue as a failure and given up.
But instead, they turned it into an opportunity to advance our understanding of the planet.
It's a good reminder that even when things don't go as planned, there are always valuable lessons to be learned.
And new paths to be discovered, just like Symphony's story showed us.
Resilience and adaptability are key, especially when it comes to facing the challenges ahead.
So, now that we've covered so much ground, from ambitious beginnings to groundbreaking research, what are some key takeaways our listeners should walk away with? We've been through a lot with Biosphere 2.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey.
From those big dreams of space colonization
To becoming this incredible research hub.
What stands out to you as the biggest takeaway for our listeners?
I think what's really cool about Biosphere 2,
Yeah.
it's how it makes you think about how complicated Earth's systems are.
You mean like the oxygen problem?
Exactly.
It wasn't just like a little technical glitch, was it?
No, it showed this fundamental challenge of recreating the balance of nature.
Like they tried to set up this perfectly choreographed dance of life, and then some concrete slab came in and messed up the whole routine.
I like that analogy. It really highlights how even the tiniest details can have huge consequences in a closed system.
It makes you realize how much we depend on the natural world to just work.
Right, we don't even think about it.
We expect clean air and water,
But they're the result of these super complex processes.
and we're still trying to figure them all out.
Definitely.
Biosphere 2 is a big wake-up call.
Like, we can't just engineer our way out of environmental problems.
We have to understand and work with natural systems.
Sure.
And then you've got Symphony's story,
Right.
reminding us that human resilience is just as important as scientific smarts.
She faced some serious obstacles.
But she didn't just survive.
She found a way to thrive.
It's a powerful addition to the Biosphere 2 story.
It shows how strong the human spirit can be.
To adapt and overcome and find hope in tough situations. It's almost like Biosphere 2 is this massive experiment in understanding our planet. And Symphony's journey is an experiment in understanding human resilience.
I love how yes theory brought those two things together.
They show us that pushing boundaries, whether it's building a mini Earth or dealing with personal struggles.
Requires a similar kind of mindset.
As we wrap up this deep dive into Biosphere 2, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, keep seeking discomfort.
Who knows, maybe you'll be the one to design the next amazing habitat.
That pushes the limits of what's possible. Thanks for joining us, everyone.